Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago and beyond. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. Today is Thursday, still the 27th of February, but you're hearing this on the 6th of March. And we'll record two in a row, so we're still in our brand new studio. I'm loving it, Cecil.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm loving the vibe,
It's
man.
a little more comfortable, which is
It is more comfortable.
A little more comfortable because we were in these office chairs forever. And one of the tough things about the office chairs, too, is that they're constantly squeaking and moving and tweaking, and it's just a pain in the ass.
And the fucking office chairs we had before, they had like the adjustable armrests that were always in the wrong position for me, no matter what.
No matter what. Always
what.
in the wrong one. Yeah.
Yeah. Was never fully comfortable.
I wasn't a fan. I was using an office chair from it was one of the old timey ones that I had bought years ago.
Yeah.
That I was still using that is really uncomfortable. So
my office chair was one I think I took from my office when the pandemic shut my office down.
Pandemic shut down? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, stealing office chairs.
We rated when we shut that office down. I was the manager that I was like, take everything you want. We had a guy take the big TV out of the conference room.
Nice.
Like
did it still have the Taco Bell menu on it? Or?
We rated that place like pirates.
That's amazing.
Like pirates.
Well, when ours went, when we flipped to the pandemic, they let us take our computers home, but I was on a Mac. That was at work, and it's a huge, instead of just having a small desktop that you could take, I was only able to take home my laptop.
Okay.
And I had to work off my laptop, and all the other people were able to take under your arm the PCs because they were all Dells and relatively small.
Right.
So they could take actual PCs home.
Right.
And then a monitor in a bag, and it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
But for me, it was I was like, well, I can't do that at all. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So, and everything was sold out for months after the pandemic first. When the pandemic first started, you couldn't get computer parts.
No.
You couldn't get Zoom, anything for Zoom. No cameras were available. No headsets were available. Nothing.
Nothing was available.
So I just had to work with what I had.
Right.
And they wouldn't let me take my big Mac home. I had a big, nice.
What?
They
wouldn't let you take it?
No, they're like, you can't leave the building with that. You're not allowed to take that out.
That's bullshit.
It was admittedly 4 times as much as other computers, so I get it. So
I sublet that space because I knew we weren't going back. So I sublet out my space, and when I negotiated the lease for the sublet, they were like, "Well, can we have the furniture?" And I said, "I'm giving everybody whatever they want, so you can have whatever furniture is left." That place was strip mined.
Really?
Oh, strip mined. I had 70 some employees. I sent them all home. They of course took their tech stuff home, like other computers, monitors, and that stuff. Yeah. And then in the offices, those desks were taken apart and you hauled out of there.
Wow.
The credenzas, the furniture, the nice
chairs.
It
all, huh?
The automatic fucking defibrillator was taken out of the fucking break room. Somebody wanted to take the...
Admittedly, I always kind of wanted to shock my own balls.
That's how I wake myself up in the morning.
So I want to be like, I'm going to come.
Somebody wanted the vending machine out of the break room, and I'm like, we rent that. You can't take the vending machine.
That would be amazing.
The vending machine weighs 900 pounds, man.
How amazing is that? They got the dollar changer on their shoulder, and they're just carrying it out. The ATM machine.
What would be awesome is to give them the vending machine, but not the key to it.
Oh.
So they get to...
Perfect. They're constantly having to shake it just to try to get what they get out of it.
You find them they didn't call them to work. You do a wellness check. They're pinned underneath.
Just Cheeto stained face. They're pinned underneath.
Do you know how much those things weigh? Those things weigh, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, they weigh a lot.
Hundreds and hundreds of
I know
pounds.
they weigh a lot because I've had to push them sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm at the top of this thing.
Right.
And I can barely get it to move. They have to weigh a fucking shit ton.
Wheeled that thing in on a dolly or whatever into my building. It was a brand new construction space. And it pressed on the floor so hard, it squoze the glue up from between it damaged the floor.
No shit.
Yeah, just wheeling it across the floor.
It's like a forklift.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts.
That's insane.
Those things are so heavy. They're like 2 Americans.
Did they Did they leave the security guard? Did they take him too? Somebody took him.
Just haul the security guard over your shoulder.
They just take his whole desk and they put it in the back. And they're like, "You're coming with me. You're coming with me. No one gets in this door. No one gets in.
That's it.
I want you to make sure you sign for every package. Everyone."
How great would that be to have a doorman at your house? Just in your house, just a doorman.
You know how much you pay for that in a condo? That's insanely expensive in a condo.
Well, but they don't have they do less work in your house. They just sign for your Amazon shit.
Admittedly, yeah, they just sit there. Yeah, they don't do anything because I don't do Amazon anymore. Fuck Amazon.
That's true.
Face.
That's true.
Fuck them in the face. Yep. I started going through all the different places that I'm not going anymore.
It's fucking everywhere.
I re-upped my Costco membership.
Yeah.
I used to go to Target constantly.
Fuck Target now.
Fuck Target.
Yeah.
I will never set foot in a McDonald's again for the rest of my life after the fucking hamburger and fries thing that they pulled. Yeah. Never again. I'll never eat another McDonald's. It's not like I was a mad fan of McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
But it was my breakfast spice of choice. It was the place that I would be like, I like their sausage muffin with egg, and I would get it whenever I was on the road and be like, oh, breakfast, let's get them.
Sure.
I'll never do that again. Not as long as I live. I'm done with them.
Dead to
and like, I'm starting to name all these places. I'm like, you're off the list. You're off the list. And Amazon got thrown off the list. I'm like, no,
good for you, man.
It's not. I'm not ordering from them if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
And I haven't canceled my Prime membership yet. I'm waiting until after. I purchased tickets for a trip. Like my wife and I are going on our 25th anniversary, and we do it on a credit card so you can get protection, the protections.
Yeah,
And I don't want to cancel that credit card until the trip is over.
And it's an Amazon card.
It's an Amazon card.
Right. So yeah,
I don't want to fuck with my trip yet, but I will, and then I'll be like, and I'm done with you. I will never ever use this card again. I'll never use your service again if I can avoid it. And it's one of those things like if I can avoid it, because genuinely Amazon does everything.
Amazon is so embedded.
Amazon does everything.
It's very, very difficult to be out of that infrastructure.
Yeah, and to not use their system because there's so much they have cornered the market on fast.
Yeah.
And that is so convenient for so many people. But this last week I was like, oh, I need a couple of things. And I'm like, I'll just order them from a couple of different places. I'm like, it'll be fine. And they got here a couple days after they would have. It's okay.
Right.
Everything's fine. It's literally waiting an extra day. It's nothing in comparison.
You know, the thing that I was thinking about with Amazon the other day is I read a fair amount. Sure. I read a lot. And I read on a Kindle, or at least a Kindle app. I usually read on my iPad.
Yeah.
And I use the Kindle app for it. And I tried going to my library and downloading like Hoopla and Libby. They suck. Like there's like nothing available. Everything is always digitally checked out. Everything I want to read is always digitally checked out. It's obnoxious. So I read on my Kindle. And I can't read paper books. My eyes aren't very good. So I need to read on an e-reader because I need the backlight now. Like if I try to read a paper book, I can't.
And Amazon's the only game in town.
I don't know anyone else that I can buy ebooks.
Someone's going to tell you.
Someone
will email us and tell you where you can find.
Yeah, where can I get mass market ebooks that I can just like load? And please,
have you ever tried a Paperwhite? Like one of those Paperwhites? The Kindle Paperwhites?
I have a Paperwhite. Yeah, that's a really good e-reader.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hate to say it. It's an excellent e-reader. And the e-ink is really, really nice.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
I know that like there was good stuff they do, but there's like, he's a horrible human being.
He's a fucking terrible person.
He's a terrible person.
I'm not suggesting.
I'm just enriching him.
Yeah, right.
That's all you're doing. And it's like the same thing when I go on Facebook. I'm like now Facebook is a disaster.
It's totally changed. It's so bad.
It's like
unusable.
I only go on there like once a week now to post my show, and then that's it. And I'm like, and I'm done because I'm still trying to grow this No Rogan.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to post it. I might start posting for this show too, just to get people to like, that maybe might have fallen off and stopped listening for a while. Maybe they'll see it on my Facebook wall and be like, oh, I haven't listened to Cogdis in a while, and listen. But it's like, that's the only thing I use it for is like promotion. I don't post anything on there. I never post anything. I never post pictures anymore.
Right.
I'm just done.
And the feed is now trash.
It's garbage.
The feed is complete trash.
It's all trash. Like I think like, and you can see one of the things that is really good about what's happening is Costco stock went through the roof.
Yeah.
And Target stock tanked.
Good.
And
fuck 'em.
Not just Target, Tom, the first story this week.
Yep.
Tesla.
This is great.
Tesla is tanking.
Tesla sales are tanking across the world. Blame the Musk effect, declining EV subsidies, or all of the above. But Tesla's global sales are off to a very bad start for 2025. I've also seen, again, just anecdotally, social media stuff, that people that own Teslas are absolutely shitting them into the used car market. They're getting rid of their Teslas. They don't want to be seen driving them.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed to own them.
Yeah.
So like, it's not just damaging, because if you put enough of these things into the used car market, it devalues the new car, right? So if there's a giant flood of these things into the used car market,
nobody will buy a new one. They'll be like, well, why would I buy it? Why would I buy it? I'll buy it. And now I'm suspicious.
Right.
And now I'm suspicious. Now I'm like, oh, that's not a thing I want to own. One thing I have seen is people defacing other people's cars.
No, don't do that.
That's something I don't like that at all. Like, it's like, that's a person who bought that car and they might've bought it a while ago. Maybe they don't know what's happening or whatever. Don't go deface somebody's car. I think of how mad you would be if you came out and somebody defaced your car.
Well, and think about this too. You have no idea the day you deface that car, who's driving that car. I think of my son. My son borrows my car all the time. Like, what if like I had, like, let's say I was a shitty person with shitty values and I had a fucking Cybertruck and my son borrowed my Cybertruck and then he comes out and it's been defaced. Now he's driving around in it.
Yeah.
And he's taking flack for that. It might not even be the owner.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
that's
right.
The other thing too. Yeah. I mean, like I think, and there's some people who are like, you know, they're defacing Tesla dealerships or whatever. It's like, it's easy to make their stock tank. Get rid of your Tesla. Don't buy a new one. Don't shop there. Don't promote their products. Be done with it.
Yeah,
there's other ways.
Electric cars.
And there's great electric cars out there.
There's we're finally at a place where Tesla is not the only reasonably priced game in town for an electric car.
Yep.
You know, like Honda's got a Prologue, which is an SUV, which is a beautiful looking car. Volkswagen has them. I know Volkswagen is a problematic company as well. But there are other electric car manufacturers. Hyundai has several of them now that are very reasonably priced. So like there are other options that are not stratospherically priced.
Next car I get is going to be, I want to get like one of those ones that you suggested, the nearby electric hybrid. I can go away and go drive a long distance on gas if I want to.
Yeah.
But it's hybrid nearby, like completely electric nearby. That's the kind of car I want to get.
Yeah.
Because that's a perfect car for me.
There's so many solutions now for people to switch over.
Yeah.
I would love, when I buy another car, which will be a few years from now, but when I buy another car, I will definitely be getting a fully electric car.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like I'll just buy a fully electric. I want, like now that manufacturers that I'm interested in are making them, I'm like, 100%. I'll buy a fucking fully electric car. This story is from Forbes. AI generated video of Trump kissing Elon Musk's feet reportedly plays in the HUD building. HUD is Housing and Urban Development. The video is fucking great. And what I also love about this, Cecil, is they couldn't figure out how to stop it. So they had to go around and unplug all the TVs.
Monitors off. I don't know if they're not showing the actual video here. It's just the story I found doesn't have the video itself. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. Yeah, so let me ambigonate this. New York Post, I got to go here because this is the one place that allows it. So let me ambigonate this video so we can look at it. But one thing that's weird about AI is initially it was actually really tough to like get AI to use real people.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's
no
like
problem.
They're like, whatever, who cares? We don't.
No problem.
Yeah. All right, so let me play this so we can all watch it together and just marvel at how grotesque this is. It is fucked up, but somebody put it on every one of the housing and urban development things. And so it's just a picture. It's a video of Elon Musk sitting there with big hobbit feet. And then here comes Trump. And somebody tweets, I wasn't expecting to see that this morning. Really funny video, you know, like if you're going to make fun of them. And
then he has two left feet.
Oh, does he? I didn't notice. Let's see. They showed a picture.
God,
of
AI
it.
is so weird,
Hold on,
man.
Let's see. They showed a picture of it. He does have two.
AI is so weird, man.
Oh man, I'm surprised his feet don't have beards. What I love though is that they've really, you know, they've opened up the floodgates on this, and so you're right, it cuts both ways.
Yeah,
like you did this to you.
Yeah,
you know?
This is great. AI is a fucking dystopian nightmare. So like, Let's fuck with the
Yeah.
people. Like, we can fuck with you back. You can post your video, Trump, of your fucking Gaza nightmare, like your jerk off fucking dictatorial statue shit. And like, I don't even think they should call this pranksters. This is more than a prank. This is an act of civil disobedience and protest.
I think so too.
You know, this is not just a prank. This is not silly ha.
And there's also like a real message here.
Right.
You know, everybody's been talking about President Musk. Everybody's been saying President Musk, President Musk, President. And this is exactly what they're talking about. This is the thing they're talking about. They're talking about the power dynamic that is in the White House is very much a guy bought his way in and is controlling the president. And exploit that however you can.
Absolutely.
Right? Exploit that however you can. If you could buy a fucking Super Bowl ad and put that on the television, do it. Fucking do it. Because, you know, like, we need to, like you suggest last episode, get these guys fighting.
Yeah.
Get them fighting, man. Get them. These people hate each other. And you can already see that happening. I don't know if you saw, did you see the Epstein things that happened? And this will be last week.
No.
So evidently Trump declassified Epstein's files or something. Kash Patel handed out to right-wing influencers, Libs at TikTok, Mike Cernovich, and a couple others, files with all the flight logs in it.
Okay.
He gave them to influencers, but the AG hasn't gotten her copy yet.
The Attorney General doesn't have it?
So she requested one very publicly today with a letter. So these people don't like each other.
Yeah.
There's a guarantee she doesn't like Kash Patel. I guarantee Pam Bondi hates him. So there's going to be some friction and fighting between these people. You know, I guarantee, you know, at a certain point, some of these people are going to start going after each other and going after each other's throats. It's going to happen. And I think you just try to fan those flames as often as you can. Make these people inept through their own hatred of each other.
Yeah, man. Because like these guys are not bonded by a set of shared values.
Yeah.
Right. They are bonded by a desire to work for themselves for personal gain.
To be as powerful as they can
Right.
be.
So that's actually the easiest type of person to exploit. It really is, because their motivations are so laid bare. This is from the Herald. Cecil.
Hey, you were just saying, if it's dystopian, Tom, and we can like create AI videos and things like that, it's like, it's dystopian Christmas. Let's just dress the tree.
It is. It is, man.
Let's just dress the tree.
Get out your fucking stupid tinsel.
It's time to trim the tree. And here's the thing, man. This story is the dumbest thing I've read all year.
Did you watch the video?
I did not watch the video.
Cecil, I watched the video. Let me read the headline for you.
We're going to watch the video.
You guys, this is a real honest to God story. TikTokers dropping heavy objects onto feet in viral trend risk lifetime of pain.
All right. I'm going to have a lifetime of pain watching this. I guess I'll watch this one. Is this the video?
I think that's the one I watched.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's put this on the big screen and let's watch it together. Here we go.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're so stupid. We're so stupid.
He has a monitor in his hands right
We're
now.
so stupid.
Admittedly, I fucking double dare you to do the monitor that I first had with my computer. They will amputate your leg. They will amputate. You will have to get metal lifted somewhere if you drop a CRT fucking monitor on your toes.
For real.
Yeah, no.
What's the stupidest thing you've ever done on a dare? Have you ever done a stupid thing on a dare?
Ate a jalapeno pepper once.
You are milquetoast.
It sucks because I didn't have any kind of
like
powers to prevent any damage. And a jalapeno pepper, look, I know a bunch of people will be like, oh man, you're such a pussy or whatever. But it's like, you know, if you don't have it, if you haven't built up any resistances at all or aren't used to that kind of heat,
you're on fire.
It's a lot of heat.
It is, yeah.
And it was but I did it for $20.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to think if I did anything else. I'm sure I did, Tom. I just can't remember.
My buddy Rick dared me to put my hand on the dartboard while he threw darts at the dartboard. And I did.
Tom.
Yeah.
Why though?
Because I was fucking stupid.
Did he throw a dart at your hand?
He threw darts at my hand.
Did he hit your hand?
He did not hit my hand.
Well, good for him.
He grazed one finger.
Admittedly,
entirely by accident.
I would expect Rick to try to hit your hand.
I think he was.
Yeah.
But he's not a good dart thrower.
He's not a good dart thrower.
Yeah. I don't know why I did this.
So it's like a reverse William Tell.
He is, exactly.
You know for sure he's going to miss your head entirely.
So like, even as I'm saying, like, we're so stupid, I want to recognize that there is nothing stupider than a teenage boy. A teenage boy.
You're not wrong.
Will do any stupid thing. Not every teenage boy, But the teenage boy as a classification, it's almost like you're a different species of stupid.
So not on a dare, and I might have told the story before on the air, but not on a dare. But this guy I was with, we were out drinking. A whole bunch of us are out drinking. We're out underneath this bridge in Lamont, Illinois. And we're all, it's like literally like 5 carloads of people. And we all brought beer and we're all underage. We're all right out of high school. The year you get out of high school, right? So we're all, not seniors anymore, right before people went off to college, that sort of thing. And we're all, and actually it was cold out. So it was like, people who didn't go to college, we're all a bunch of people who, were just stayed home. We none of us went to college. And so there's a ton of us. And then there's like a bunch of girls and just like carloads of people.
Right.
We're all drinking. Well, the cops come and they break the party up. Well, the guy I'm with, everybody's kind of a little buzzed, right? It's not like the cops are showing up and being like, okay, guys, wait it out. They're like, hey, you guys got to go. And we're not busting you. We're not going to take y'all in.
Right.
Get in your cars and go. And they're like, a couple of us are a little drunk, right? So I have to get in the car with this guy who has a Mustang and he's got a lead foot and we leave and we're all going to Denny's because everybody there all agrees, let's just go to Denny's and sober up. Like, let's just fucking go to Denny's and sober up. So we're like, let's get in our cars and we'll go. We head over there, and I'm the only one in the car with Frankie who's drunk, and I'm a little drunk myself, right? It's not like I'm not completely sober. And he comes pulling up next to we're gonna turn. Like, we're turning where this goes. And there's a Camaro comes and pulls up next to him, and he's in a Mustang.
Right.
And Camaro revs his engine, and he revs his engine. And he's like, looks like we're going straight. And he turns his blinker off and he just guns it. And he floors it past this guy. And he blows the doors off this Camaro, right?
Okay.
He's one of these fast Mustangs with a chip in it or whatever. I don't even know what it is. Like, it's got a chip, whatever that means.
You say that. I've heard this story before.
I ate a whole bag of chips. I don't even know what that means.
I just like nod along.
I don't even
it's
know
got the chip in
I don't know what that means. But
I don't know what that means either.
It had a chip.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, his chip makes him go real fast.
Yeah.
And we're going real fast. We blow this thing away and he turns the corner, and as he turns the corner, he again hits the gas, but now the guy's gone, so it doesn't matter. But he's just fucking around now. Now his blood's up.
Right, yeah.
So he's hitting the gas, and he hits the gas, and he fucking floors it. And I scream at him because I know the area.
Right.
And I'm like, Frankie, stop sign up ahead. So instead of hitting the brakes, he decides he's going to blow the stop sign in this sort of back area there's a bunch of business parks. So he's like, I'm just going to blow. In his mind, I'm just going to blow the stop sign.
Right.
But he doesn't realize it tees and there's a pond. So he floors it, and we fucking dukes a hazard through the air, land in the middle of this pond, and it's like 15 feet deep. And then the car starts to sink.
That's what they do.
And so I'm just like,
even with the chip in it?
Even with the chip did not turn into an inflatable raft and allow us to float. It's so you're just both looking at each other. And I lean over and I turn off the radio. The first thing I did, turn off the radio. And then I look and I was like, so I start to open the door because I'm drunk. I don't know what to do. Door doesn't open clearly. And by the time I turn back and look over at Frankie has already rolled down his window, which are electric, by the way. And he's sitting on the side like a scuba diver. And I was like, hey man, the door won't open. He's like, roll on the window, dude. And then he does this and he falls backwards into the water and he just swims to shore. Well, I was like, fuck. So
what a great friend, man. He was really worried about
I start to roll down the window and the window gets about this far and then it shorts out. And I was like, fuck. And now water's pouring in. And so I got to squeeze through this fucking window and I wiggle myself free and I go down with the car and I either broke the window or I knocked it off its track while I was struggling and I got out of the car and I'm in a flannel and combat boots because that's the style of the time.
Man.
Tom. That's the hardest thing in the world to swim in. And I swim and the water's 33 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not ice, but it's as close as it could get.
Yeah.
Right. I'm Joe Rogan in his cold plunge. I'm like, my nipples are touching the bottom of the pond at that point. They're so sharp.
See, that's how you got out. You cut glass with your nips,
I just cut my way out like a laser. And I just swam to this. But, like you were saying, teenage boys are stupid. Yes, we're the stupidest.
Stupid, man.
The stupidest. And like, none of that had to happen. No. But it happened because he's stupid, right?
Right.
And that's why it happened.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to watch this. We're going to watch this. I'm sorry, I got into a big, long story. But here we go. So here's the TikToker. Let's watch him. Oh, this is a slow. A kid dropped a thing on his foot. Here's what happened. coin. Doesn't hurt.
That's caramel. Stop licking yourself. That one crystal cube.
What did he drop?
A toaster.
A toaster.
A toaster.
Oh, fuck.
Glass jug.
Oh.
An air fryer.
An air fryer.
Oh my god. A monitor.
Ow.
Oh.
Fuck.
Why? Why? Just.
Dropping things on my foot, rating them out of 10. We're going to start with...
A dog.
You actually did that on my foot, and I'm going to rate it like 1 out of 10. Obviously, guys, that was a bit of a joke, so we're going to do something serious now. Number 2, a toaster. A day.
Jesus Christ.
Just hop. What?
That's a solid 7, that's bad.
What the fuck?
Wow, it's like the first guy starts dropping shit on his foot and it hurts. And then the other guy's like, I also should drop. You're not even setting a trend, man. You're just dropping the same shit on your foot.
Why?
I don't know, man. Dude, the internet has made us fucking insane. We're like, hey, if people will watch it, I should probably shit in this cup with this other girl.
I just have to say, like there are days that I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I'm connected to certain people. And then there's other days I'm like, burn all the servers.
Yeah, man.
Just burn it all.
Burn them all.
Burn it all.
Yeah.
And then execute the people who know how to turn it back on. Like just take them and be like, no, we can't allow, or just put them all in a box.
Yep.
Right? Just ship them all away.
One of these days, my biggest fear, Cecil, is one of these days, I'm going to finally get up the courage to read Walden, and then I'm just going to walk into the woods and never come back.
Never come back.
I'm going to be like, that made a lot of sense, and I'm out.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be like, hey, where's Tom? We need him to eat food.
When I
and I'm going to be like, I live in the woods, and I don't know my name anymore.
My goal is when I go, I want to get a horse, and I want to ride that horse into the ocean. That's what I want to do.
I want to ride a horse into the ocean.
Into the ocean. And at a certain point, we'll get separated, and the horse will make it back, and I won't.
Right.
And it'll be good.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fine.
As long as the horse doesn't get an online account.
The horse is Instagramming my death.
The horse is dropping shit on its hooves. Okay, this video too, this is from the AP. Colombian police catch a man smuggling cocaine under his toupee. And they've got a video of this guy with like a fucking bad rug on his head. And the cops are cutting it off.
Look at how much it's so funny. He like has shaved his head, and then he has a bad, like what looks like genuinely a shag carpet on his head. And then he's just got tons of these little bricks of coke under his head.
He's got like kind of a lot of coke under his fucking rug. I know.
They get creative.
They get so creative. I admire the creativity.
They get creative.
I did a citation needed on this. I admire the creativity of smuggling in general.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about it that I'm like, yeah, it's kind of awesome. That's a great, like the narco submarines that they've got.
Yeah.
They're building submarines in the middle of the jungle and then hauling a submarine into the ocean that can cross the whole fucking ocean.
I love that shit.
It's baller.
And then they'll make the whole thing in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane where they're just like, I don't know, what if we put a bunch of air in it to see if it doesn't if it can actually hold the air? Like, I think that's amazing.
It's crazy. It's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, I know there's like lots of problems associated with cartels and all of that stuff, but just the human ingenuity of like, oh, you said I can't do that? Bet I can.
But this one's not super ingenuity. There's not a lot of ingenuity behind this particular one. What I like about this one is there's a scene from Casino where the wife, Joe Pesci's wife, hides it in her bun, all these diamonds. And so they go through all this stuff. And then she's shaking her hair out, and I couldn't help but think like this guy shaking his head out, and there's like big clumps of like what looks like urinal cakes falling out of his head, like they're landing.
Can you imagine if these things like busted and he would just look like he had the worst dandruff ever? just like unbelievable, unstoppable, but very excitable dandruff. Just
Someone's just writing him a prescription. They're like, no, man, you need like the real medical stuff for this.
The Head and Shoulders
That
is
is
not
too much.
it.
I'm sorry. You need that fucking Selsun Blue or whatever.
Also, real quick, go to the headline because I want to get the dollar amount for how much coke he's carrying.
he's got a like a wig full of coke. So it's not. I mean, it's not like that's not a whole. It's not. I mean, it's not that. It didn't look like that much. 10,000 euros.
10,000. That's $10,000 of coke.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do coke. Like, I don't know how expensive that shit is.
220 grams. So if it's 220 grams, 1,000 grams is 2 pounds, 2.2 pounds.
Okay.
So it's whatever a fifth of that would be. So that's like what, 0.4 pounds, something like that?
Quarter pound.
Quarter pound.
Quarter pound of
pounder. You could do a quarter
quarter
pounder.
pound of coke. I feel like that'd be a great weekend.
That's like, you can fit that all in one of those styrofoam things they give you at McDonald's.
They probably could. Have you ever done coke?
Never.
Tastes terrible.
I've never done it. I've done it when it's like
so bad.
So like they used to mix it with a lot of stuff when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
when I was a kid and you do like, sometimes they do it with pot. They called it Cocoa Puffs and like other stuff.
Yeah.
So I have had it, but like in like a very muted form. So I've never like did
Well,
it. Like
smoking it changes the way it interacts
I was
with your
just
system
like,
too.
I was just like, I'd never done a line of Coke. It's never happened.
I have a friend of mine. I've hung out with him a couple of times, and like twice, I've done a few lines of coke with him, and I don't get it. It is a drug that I do not understand the appeal of, like literally at all.
Yeah.
I did not find it like euphoric at all. I found myself. It's basically like a strong cup of coffee with the world's worst aftertaste.
Yeah. I
Terrible.
You know,
I
like,
hated it.
I did a lot of pot, marijuana, whatever the kids call it these days.
The reefers, I believe.
The reefers, whatever you call it. I don't do it anymore, but I used to when I was a kid. I did it a lot, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. I really liked it.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I was like, it's not for me anymore, and I stopped doing it. And then I hadn't done it for a long time. I tried it in my adult life. I didn't enjoy it. I kind of had a panic attack. Didn't enjoy it.
Right.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Like what? I'm not going to give myself a panic attack. That seems stupid.
Right.
So it's like, I decided not to do it anymore. But like the only other stuff I did, like went out of my way to like actually do was, I did psychedelics when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of different kinds of psychedelics, and those were hit or miss. They were fun or not, depending, on your situation. They were fun or not. They were like, when they were good, they were amazing. Like some psychedelics when they're good, they're amazing. But when they're like bad, it's like a fucking 14-hour panic attack. So
Yeah,
you're
it
like,
sounds
well,
terrible.
that sucks. Like that one wasn't fun, but this other time was amazing. So it's just, you got to take the good, you take the bad, take them both. And
There you have.
Facts of life.
The story's from the Detroit Free Press. Burst pipe causes flooding, submerges, then freezes cars on Detroit streets. Cecil, nothing sadder than seeing cars unable to leave Detroit.
We'll put this on the big screen and we'll play it. You gotta take a look at this. Look at how fucking, dude, look at how much water, dude.
That's so much.
Look at how much water, dude. What I love, my favorite part of this whole thing is there's a car. This car is fucking frozen up to the top of its fucking hood, but someone has taken the time before they went in to pull the wipers up so they wouldn't stick. And it's not just this car, Tom. It's the next one too. So 2 different cars. You literally could not get into these cars, but someone was like, before I go in tonight, I'm going to make sure that my window is easy to scrape when I come back to the car.
God.
But it sucks so bad.
That sucks so hard, Cecil. It's so terrible.
You ever total a car?
I've never totaled a car. No. You have?
I have. I had a car rolled over one time. These drunk kids flipped my car over at a party. I was in the party, and I came out to get my coat and my car. Like the fucking local football team that was drunk at the party next door literally turned my car on its head. It was a Geo. So they picked the smallest car and they flipped my car on its head. But, and I've also, like, I told the story earlier that I was in a car that was like dove in the water.
That'll total it.
That totaled the car too. So like, I've been in accidents where the car has been totaled, but God, when they totaled my car out, like they come out and they look at it like, yep, that's fucked. They're like, here's your check. Here you go. That's the whole thing. And no, it's not going to cover your entire loan.
No.
Yeah,
They're like, well, that was
unless you get like Gap stuff or whatever.
Gap coverage or whatever. Yeah.
I wasn't rich enough for that.
You know when this happened, there was some poor motherfucker who called work and was like, yeah, my car's frozen solid in the street. And somebody's like, all right, no, that's not going to cut it, man. You got to get in here. Your shift starts in an hour.
Guy gets his hockey skates out and just skates to work. Dude, that sucks so bad.
That's so crazy. I just want to read the headline of this so much.
Yeah.
Plump Beaver is Chicago's newest viral sensation. I feel like we've always liked Plump Beaver in Chicago. It's the Midwest.
We are the home of Plump Beaver. Yeah, this is so we had for a while, we had an alligator that was called Chance the Snapper, which is fucking amazing.
Forgot about that alligator in Chicago.
There was a couple of other things that were happening, the little animals that people really enjoy. And Chicago loves its animal mascots.
Yep.
So this is the new one. It got shown, and it's a little plump little beaver that's walking around, really excited little beaver. And people are just talking about, they showed it on the news and it's all over the place, but they're trying to come up with names. And I really like Damn Ryan and Sigourney Beaver. Both of them.
Those are so good.
Solid.
Those are so good.
I think people are like, they're going for, they're using Beaver as the last name. I think you use Beaver as the first name and just name his last name Cream Pie. I think that's what you do. He's a chunky beaver. It
is a chunky beaver.
So yeah, but I love this stuff. I love it when a whole area just is like, we're gonna embrace this weird little animal that's become like our default mascot for the year.
Cecil, in a politically divided climate like this,
right?
We can't agree on it. We can't agree whether we should feed children food.
Damn Ryan. But
we can agree that we all in Chicago like a plump beaver.
We like a plump beaver. Big fans.
Okay, the fuck? This story comes from the Asai Shimberm. I don't know what that is. Chimps prefer peeing together. 600 hours of study shows.
They're the one primate that does, because I do not enjoy peeing next
with other people.
I don't like peeing.
That's the worst.
I don't like peeing
That's the worst.
next to people.
That's why,
I hate the trough. I hate
the trough. I'd rather just not drink.
I'll just hold it. Hate the trough. I also don't like it when I have to go to pee somewhere and there's no divider even.
Yeah, that's weird. How much can a divider cost,
and
guys?
And then there's like there's a chance that guy's pee is going to hit me.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would you do that to me?
Hey, look, if my own pee hits me, I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
But if somebody else's pee hits me,
it's like I gotta walk around smelling like asparagus all day.
I don't know what.
Come on.
I don't know where you've been,
What's
Lou.
happening? They ate beets the day before and they're just peeing red and you're like, what's happening over there?
I hope you had beets. I don't know.
I'll tell you, I hate that shit so much, and I especially hate it too when there's like a huge line for the bathroom and there's like 50 people in line and you gotta wait to go, and then you gotta hurry up and go because there's a million people that are waiting.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's the worst. I hate it.
It's so terrible.
Much. I hate it.
It's terrible.
I can't imagine being like, I like peeing with a group of people.
I am going to get my friends and we are going to pee together. That is a thing.
Ladies do that. They go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but they have stalls.
They got a whole stall.
That's
the difference, right?
The stall in the men's room is a fucking biohazard.
No,
it's not usable.
There's only one, and someone has shit on the seat.
I don't know why.
Someone has decided that they were going to stand across the room and try to shoot for 2. They're like, no, you know what? I'm going for 3.
There we go.
I'm going for 3. I know it's number 2, but I'm going for 3.
What emergency nightmare scenario? Because it's always that way. What is happening? You're running you make it into the bathroom, you make it into the stall, and you're like, I didn't get to sit down. And I had a shit right on the porcelain.
Everybody's like, you know what? I don't want to touch it because someone may have shit on it, so I'm going to shit on it.
I mean, like the next guy's like, well, that's clearly where we shit. I just got a shit on there.
Yeah.
Can we just pause real quick on the chimpanzee portion of the program?
Yeah.
If we're going to study something about chimpanzees, can we study maybe how to make them not rip people's fucking faces off, not how they like to pee?
Interrupting their giant pee break.
They're like pee orgy where they get together with their fucking weird pee friends.
The streams.
This is a great story from Eyewitness News. Family finds 525-pound bear in crawl space underneath home that survived the Eaton fire.
I'm gonna play the video while we talk so people can see how fucking big this bear
fucking
is.
boy. It's a big boy.
Jesus, he got out of it though. Got out of the fire.
Yeah, that's why it's a good story.
Yeah.
Like he survived that fire.
The fire. Let's see if I can find more images of the bear. Here's the bear. They put a little camera under there because they knew the bear would come there.
Yeah.
And then the bear was like, yeah, man, fuck that. I ain't going to be out there.
No.
Although I don't know. I mean, look, it's a bear. He doesn't really know, but I'm just letting you know that that's wood that you're under right now. He's not smoky. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Yeah. He only, what he knows is only you can prevent forest fires. That's all he knows.
The whole time he's pissed off.
It's like,
I told you were the one.
God damn it. It's not me.
Jesus. I didn't even have fucking opposable thumbs.
God, can you imagine coming back to your house that survives the fire? And you're like, all right, but it's full of bears. I don't know if that's better.
Yeah. Do you light it on fire then? What do you do?
You call the bear patrol.
Evidently, all they did was have to just like put a little treat out and they came right out.
They got to.
Yeah, they would. They scratched something. They're like, come on.
Right. Come on, buddy.
Come on, here we go.
You do the leg slap. Come on.
Slap a couple times.
Come on, bud.
Come on. Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, you
And
just.
the bear's like, all
It's
right.
like a single whistle that nobody can hear but the bear.
You get one of those clickers.
Yeah.
You just clicker train the bear.
I saw the fucking cutest video this week of this guy gets like a puppy and it looks like a golden retriever puppy. And he's just staring at him and he's holding it like this and he's just like looking up at him and just like in love. And I was just like, that is the cutest fucking video I've seen. And
Dude.
I want a dog like really bad, but I don't want to take care of a dog.
Yeah.
Like I really want a dog, but I just don't want to do the work.
I know.
There's
There's an infinite amount of work.
It's so much work. And I'm like, I can't do that kind of work.
But like a golden retriever puppy is the cutest thing that is made.
I mean, that is
They're
something else.
crazy
That
cute,
is
man.
something else. They are
They're
something
stupid
else.
how cute
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah. I really want like one of the things that I would like to have, and I think one day when I don't have to work anymore, that would be something I might want to do as a project. But as it stands right now, it's like I can't dedicate. How much time do you have to dedicate
To have a good dog.
to have a good dog
Yeah.
every day,
All the time.
And look, I do things with sound.
Yeah.
So it'd be impossible not to have a good dog. You would have to have a good dog.
Yeah.
You can't just not have a good dog. The dog has to be quiet when it's told. The
Mhm.
dog has to, I don't live in a place where we have fences.
Right.
So I can't have I gotta walk it.
Right.
So it's gotta be good on it. Like all the things you would have to do for a dog to like make it a good dog, I would have to spend. It's like a full-time job.
Dude, I have a friend that has a truly good dog, like a great dog. And I've dog sat that dog a number of times. And I love this dog. It's a great dog. So because the dog is so well behaved, she knows like 12 or 15 different like tricks on command. But you'd be like, hey, Rosie, go lay down, and you point and she'll go lay down right where you're pointing. She won't like cross like a barrier between carpet and like tile unless she's told to cross it.
Yeah.
She knows. She's such a good dog. Every time I've dog sat, I'm like, I can't wait for them to pick up this dog, because to keep the dog being a good dog, you have to accept the responsibility of like, it's not like the dog's at grandma's house, and like it's just treats and like you got to do all the dog stuff. So I got to take it out for walks at the scheduled times. I've got to make sure to like do a certain number of like tricks and stuff to keep reinforcing its like training and behaviors. And you can't let him up on this thing. And it's like a full-time fucking job. Like I'm like, pick up your dog. I love this dog. It's great. Super snuggly.
Sure.
Sweetest dog in the world. Absolutely great. Please take your dog.
I would love to. I would love to own an animal. I've been around so many people who have just bad dogs.
Yeah, I've had two.
They're just bad dogs. You actually had a great dog. That
Bromo was a great
Bromo
dog.
was a great
Yeah.
dog. He was just an old dog.
Yeah.
And he was awesome. He was just like,
He was an
I'm
awesome
just
dog.
chill. I'm just super chill. I
Yeah.
just want to sit. All I want to do is sit.
Yep.
I love dogs like that. And I think the way to transition from what I have into nothing, like from a dog, is to get an old dog.
Yeah.
I think that's what you do. You just go to the shelter and you're like, what's the oldest dog you got?
Right.
Give me the oldest one you got. And then you take that one, especially if you got to know it's trained, right?
Right.
At least partially trained. Trained enough to know, but most of the time they're out of their piss and vinegar phase.
Yep.
They're like, I just want to sleep like a cat all day. That's a perfect dog to have to start. Because I had dogs as a kid, but they were all bad dogs. They're all like bad. As soon as somebody comes over, they're jumping literally as high as their eyeball.
Yeah.
So like,
Yes,
the
yes.
whole time, and they're jumping on them and they're getting them, dirty. And they're bad at like when you let them out, they run and bark and freak out. And you're just like the whole time, like everything about it is like not the movie version of the dog that you see.
Yeah, right.
It's all the like worst qualities, the total wild qualities of a dog that I'm like, I don't want that. I want the golden retriever that walks literally right next to me, never tugs on the leash, and all I have to do is hold it very, very lightly in my hand the whole time. And then I go inside, and then it lays down, and it doesn't bother me until I want to play with it.
Yes,
that's the dog I want, and that's not a dog I'll ever own. It's not.
No.
I'm smart enough to know that dog doesn't exist. But I love the idea of that. I have like dog porn, dude. Like that's what I have. It's like dog ownership porn. It's like completely unrealistic.
I want that same idea so much. I've had dogs with the idea that that's what I was going to have, and then did not put that time and energy into it, and had a very different experience.
Very different experience.
And I learned that lesson. But I was like, I wanted the same thing. I wanted a dog that that held its own leash.
Yeah.
And would walk next to you holding its leash, just like, I'm a happy boy just to be by you. Love eyes. And instead I'm like, I had dogs that were like, I'm excited all the time and I can't stop. Vibrate. And it's like, all right, that's too much. That's fucking too much.
All right. That's going to be it for this funny show. We'll be back on Monday with a full show. And we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi-alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards.
You're not buying those
nuts.
That's theft.
Shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/dissonancepod. Help us spread the word by sharing our content. Find us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Threads, all under the handle @dissonancepod. This show is CAN-credentialed, which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm on their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org.